So I'm super excited. This is my Q&A video. I've been looking forward to doing this for weeks. Basically, I got all these questions from the giveaway that I had. Everyone had asked me a question to enter into the giveaway. I got so many people who participated in that. It was so overwhelming and just so much fun to get to read all the questions and comments, and everyone was so sweet and so nice. Everyone loved my bags and were just so nice. So I'm getting ready to answer all your guys' Q&A. I've already put them all in order so that they're kind of in sections so that I don't answer the same question over and over. That way, the video doesn't take forever because there were so many and some were repeated and all of that. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first question is, how many years have you guys been married? And we got married on August 8th of 2008, so it's 8808, and we've been married for 4 years and I'm guessing 3 months or so. Next question is, when and how did you and your hubby meet? Me and Bryan met in high school. We were both at the same carnival, and my best friend was friends with him. And that's kind of where we met, in a fun little small town festival kind of thing. At first I thought he was a total dork and stuff, but of course we became best friends and fell in love, so. Next question, how did you and Bryan know that you were the one for each other? Me and Bryan were in high school when we met, and we had been together for a while, been dating and, talking about marriage and stuff. I don't know if there was a specific time that we were that's the one for us, but we just knew that we were in love and we wanted to be together forever. Okay, next question is, what makes your marriage strong? I think mainly me and Bryan try and communicate as much as possible. If we ever have any issues, we try and talk it through. I would say I'm really a problem solver, so I like to just sit down and figure it out and fix the issue. But of course our marriage is not perfect, and we always strive to make it better in ways that we can. Next question is, do you think having a baby will make you and your husband closer? I definitely think that it will make us closer. I don't think that it couldn't, because having a child is just it's both your baby, I just think that it's definitely going to bring us closer. I know that there are times that it's going to be hard and difficult. I know that that's inevitable, but I really do have faith that me and Bryan will be able to do it. Alright, next question is, how long have you been trying to conceive? Me and Bryan I would say that we officially started to try and have a baby. It's been about a year. We started last November of 2011, it was right near Thanksgiving. And that's when we decided to go ahead and start trying, and we got pregnant right away, but of course we've gone through, we lost in the first trimester, and then we got pregnant again the second trimester, and now we're pregnant again. Next question is, how old are you? I am 23. Okay, does your family on both sides get along? Yes, they do. We have no problems or any kind of issues in our family. We don't really they're not really together, I would say, a lot, because we live in different states and stuff. But for the most part, there's never been any issues. Everyone gets along and everyone's happy. Okay, how did you and Bryan decide to get married? And did one of you propose, or did it just come during conversation one day? Me and Bryan had been dating for quite a while, about a year or so, when we decided to start really discussing and talking about marriage and everything. He did one day surprise me with a proposal, though. It was actually right after the same festival that we had met about maybe 2 years earlier. It was a super sweet proposal, and so yeah, that's how he proposed. Next question is, I would like to know about your wedding day, best bits, funny stories, bits that made you cry, happy tears, I mean. Let's see, our wedding was so cute. We got married here in California in a small church that my aunt and uncle actually kind of run, I guess. And, my uncle is the pastor there. And They actually decorated it in like beautiful twinkle lights. It was all only lit with twinkle lights and candles, and I didn't even get to see it until I was walking down the aisle. And it was just a really, really amazing wedding, and very small and intimate. Funny things, since we were underage, we served milk and apple juice as like the drinks at our wedding. And something that made me cry, I think right when I was all done getting ready and it was time to, get ready to actually go into the church, Bryan was standing at the bottom of the stairs and I was standing at the top, and he had kind of we weren't going to see each other before the wedding, but I heard his voice for like the first time that whole day, and he was like, "Are you ready?" And I was like, "Yeah," and it was just like, that's when I started to cry. And then of course, as I was walking down the aisle, Bryan was bawling his eyes out, so that was kind of cute too. Next question is, what is your relationship journey with your husband before deciding to have a baby? Let's see, so I think what you're asking is like what were me and Bryan kind of like doing before we decided to have a baby. So first of all, after we got married, we did live with my parents for a little while. Then we actually moved into a small apartment in downtown Boise, which was so awesome and so much fun. He went to college and I worked, and he had another job also, and that's just kind of what we did before we were ready to have kids. Okay, when you do conceive, are you planning on announcing it right when you find out, like the last pregnancies? And if not, will you wait until after 18 weeks? So I actually thought this was an awesome question. I had already kind of planned on answering it in a certain way, and I did actually in one of my later videos, so definitely check that out. Or is it later or earlier videos? But yes, I do plan to announce, and I did announce right away, and we're really, really excited about it. So that's we can't really hold it in anyways. I was wondering if you had a name for your little boy that passed. You have always just referred to him as your son. I do have a name for him. Before he was born, I didn't really have a name for him. I don't know, I hadn't gotten to that point yet, I guess. But after he was born, it was really bothering me because I really wanted him to have a name, and it was something that I was actually really struggling with. It was just like eating at me, and I really just decided, okay, I need to sit down and figure out what his name is. I kind of looked at a few things, and a couple names kind of had popped up at me, but then one day I went into my mom's room and I just was like crying, and I was just like, I don't know what his name is. I don't know his name. Finally, my mom just kind of like started crying, and she just knew. Like, I think I don't know. Like she's like, I think I know his name, but obviously in the end it's up to me. And she was like, his name is Gabriel, and it was just like a really amazing like a moment. And because I'd actually seen that name, and I had already kind of thought it over, and I already really liked it. And then when she said it, I was just like, whoa, that was crazy that you just said that. And then I had been talking about it with my aunt also, who she actually was the one who was able to see him in the hospital. And so I had this, I really felt like I needed to sit down and talk to her, and I told her my issues and how I was just really struggling. And I know she had, something had come through her head, and she didn't say it to me until finally I was like, I think I know his name, I think it's Gabriel. And that's when she just like started crying, and she's like, that's his name, that is his name. She's like, I just like felt it, and she just knew that like God had told her the name. God had told my mom his name, and then that's his name. So it came to me in really special ways, and I kept it sort of private, just because it was just so special to me. But thank you for asking that question, because I did feel like it was time to announce it. Okay, next question is, are you scared to get pregnant again, or do you think you might feel scared throughout your future pregnancies? Yes, I actually have a video, a few down. It's about, I think it's called My Emotions While TTCing. And of course I'm scared. Those fears are like so there. You're reminded of it every single day. Every time someone has a miscarriage, and it's so often, And it's just so scary that you're just, it's a constant reminder for me. And right now, I honestly just thank God every single day that I get to be pregnant. I am scared that every day that this could be the end, and so far everything's been good, and I hope that I get to continue through this pregnancy until I get a baby. That I'm of course gonna be scared, and it's probably gonna be a while till I start to breathe a little bit easier, but I'm willing to do that. Alright, when you do conceive again, how do you plan to cope with the worry/anxiety that something may happen again? Really, there's no way to honestly just cope with it. I think for the main part, I just have to know that all I can do is what I can do. And the thing is that I know that I'm taking, I'm doing different things, taking a progesterone, I'll be doing lots of blood work, lots of ultrasounds, taking a different vitamin, and having a new doctor. All of those make me feel a little bit better about this pregnancy. For the most part, I just have to trust God that He will give me a baby if that's what God is going to allow. So that's all I really can do, is just hope and pray, honestly. What's your plan of action as far as having babies are concerned? Do you guys have a limit on how many losses you'll do, though, before pursuing other options? What other options would you consider? At this point, I can't really answer that, because every loss, I guess you could say in a way, you hope to learn something from that. I hope I don't have another loss, and every time I do, I feel like you get a little better insight of what it could possibly be. I don't know. It would literally have to be to the point where a doctor was like, I'm sorry, but you can't have babies. Because otherwise, I don't think I could just give up. I don't know. And obviously, it's just going to be how I feel it. I don't know. Maybe after one more loss, I'll just be done and give up. I don't really know. So I think at this point, I'm willing to jump in again. Until we hit that point where we're done, I don't know when that point will be. And then for other options, my other option I would hope next would be a gestational carrier. And I actually have an amazing cousin that has already kind of offered in a way that if it came to that, she would be willing to carry mine and Bryan's child. And I love her so much, and that would be amazing. I hope that it doesn't come to that. I really don't. In my heart, I don't believe that's what it's gonna come to. But I would consider other options: a gestational carrier, a surrogate, and of course adoption at some point if necessary. How has your view on pregnancy changed since having 2 miscarriages? And then you also asked, will you have a natural or medicated birth, and would you breastfeed? Of course my views have changed. I would say that my view on pregnancy is so different. I would say that my naiveness has been totally taken away, to the point that sometimes I will actually be watching a television show and they'll say something like, she's pregnant, and I cringe because I can't even feel the joy for that person's pregnancy because I'm so scared that they're going to lose the baby. So my naiveness and that joyness has totally been, in a way ripped from pregnancy. Of course, I'm still so excited, and I just hope and dream that I do get to have a baby. But that so overfilled with joyness and not a care in the world has totally been gone. Is totally gone. So, yes, of course, my views on pregnancy has changed since having miscarriages. I plan to have a natural birth. I want that very, very badly. It's something that I've always dreamt about. It's something that I really feel like I can do. Of course, I don't judge anyone who doesn't go that route. I just feel that with my body, I have a very high pain tolerance. I want to do natural. It's just honestly a dream of mine. But at the same time, I don't know what it's like. Of course, I've never really experienced a full-term delivery. So, I'm not going to put any pressure on myself. And then, will you breastfeed? Definitely plan to breastfeed 100%. When are you going to try and conceive again? Well, I hope that we don't have to try to conceive again for a couple of years, because I'm just found out that I'm pregnant, and I hope that means that I get a baby. Okay, what names do you have for your future babies? I have a couple of names picked out for my girls. Boy names, I have a really hard time coming up with them because I like to be kind of creative and cutesy with my names, and when it comes to boy names, you just can't really do that because someday they're going to be a man, and so I really don't have that many boy names picked out, but I have a couple girl names picked out, and I don't necessarily want to share them right now because, you know, I'm really excited about that, and I can't wait to announce it when it's actually time. If you had a choice on the gender of your next baby, would it be boy or girl, and why? Because of everything that's happened to me, I don't think that I necessarily have a certain gender that's picked out. And, because I have lost 2 boys, though, I would feel really better, I guess you could say, if I did find out this was a girl, because, and this is honestly just my own little theory, but, you know, you just want everything to be so different, because, of course, you want the outcome to be different. So, in a way, it's like if they tell me it's a girl, maybe this time everything will be okay, but if I get another boy, I don't know, that scaredness will be really there for me, I guess you could say. So, if I had to choose, I would say, I guess, girl. But, honestly, I just want a healthy baby. Really, I really just do. That's all I seriously want. Next question is, how have you managed to keep pushing forward with such hope? I really am just a really positive person. That's how I've always been. But of course, I think that because I'm a Christian and I have God in my life, I just trust that God will, you know, provide me with a baby one day. Okay, how many children are you guys hoping to have? Well, I want like 3 or 4. I would love to have like 4 kids, but I guess it all depends on finances and stuff like that. Bryan, I think he's more on the 1 or 2, but that's still not happening. I mean, of course, I just want 1. Like, I really just want 1 right now. Yeah, so I just want, of course, 1 if possible, and then I would love to have, like, 4 kids if the finances were there. What do you think will be your parenting style? I don't think I necessarily have a specific parenting style, or that I will have a parenting style. You know, there's so many different kinds of ways that you can go, but because I think I will tend to go the way I was sort of raised, which was with a lot of structure, discipline, stuff like that, but with a lot of love, of course. So I loved the way I was raised. It was in a really amazing childhood, so I'll probably plan to do something kind of like that. How do you plan to have your baby, natural or epi? I would like to have a natural birth. Now, I do want to explain that because of my uterus and because I've had losses, I have to have the baby at 39 weeks. So if I don't naturally go at 39 weeks, which I don't know if I would, then I have to go in and be induced. And that's if the baby's head down. If the baby is breech, they do not touch me. They will not turn the baby for me because I have a bicornuate uterus. They will not touch the baby. So I will immediately have a C-section then. So I'm hoping that the baby is head down so that I can do a natural birth. But, you know, I'm probably going to end up being induced. And if I'm induced, I'm scared of all the, you know, the stories of Pitocin and all that. And so then I would be afraid that I would need an epidural. So that's a hard question to answer. So I'm hoping natural. That's my answer for now. Do you plan to do anything different when you become pregnant again that you didn't do or think was a big deal before? Besides, you know, taking different medications and stuff like that, there are some different things that I'm planning on doing. First of all, I'm a really, really picky eater. I do not eat, like, any vegetables. I'm just, like, when it comes to food, I'm terrible at it. So, my plan right now is I just learned that I love green smoothies. I can put spinach or, like, all these vegetables into a smoothie, and I don't even taste it, and it's just, like, delicious. I look forward to it every single morning. So I've been doing that for a little over a month now, and I feel like that's really good for me. I also started this in my last pregnancy, but towards the end, that I try and drink a huge thing of water. It's like a huge thing of water. I can't even remember how many ounces it is, but I try and drink that every single day. I've been having a really hard time with it lately. It's just been really difficult. But because I work in an office by myself and I have a bathroom, I can pretty much just sit there and drink water all day and go to the bathroom. And so that's what I try and do. So I like to drink a lot of water, and I think green smoothies will hopefully be really good for this pregnancy. Next question is, do I plan to cloth diaper? I definitely plan to cloth diaper. I would love to do that. I think it's a great thing for the environment, but I also think that it's a huge money saver. I know that the cost is there at the very, very beginning, but it totally makes up for it. And they're, of course, super, super cute. The only thing I'm a little worried about is, of course, Bryan is he has a very weak stomach. So I'm a little worried about the whole cleanup situation with the cloth diapers, which, I'm not gonna lie, I'm worried about it too. But I'm gonna get, of course, the little hose, and I'm hoping I can make it as easy as possible. Now, if I end up not being a stay-at-home mom, if I end up having to work, I think that's gonna be a lot more difficult to do with cloth diapering. I think it's something that a stay-at-home mom honestly has to be able to do, because it's a full-time job, basically, taking care of these cloth diapers. So it's definitely something I plan to do, but we will see. Okay, next question is, do you guys live with your parents? Me and Bryan do live with my parents. After we moved from Idaho, we were in like a little apartment in Idaho. We moved here. It is so expensive to live here. So it is both helpful for my family and, my mom and dad and me and Bryan. Because of course it's so expensive to live here. So we rent from my parents a small kind of studio apartment kind of thing, kind of sectioned off from the house. We have our own entrance and everything, and we love it because we're so close to my family, and I love them to death, and it just works perfect for me and Bryan. So me and Bryan could probably afford to go and live in a small apartment somewhere else, but I just love where we are right now, and it just works perfect for us. Okay, so next question. How do you feel about attachment parenting, cloth diapering, baby wearing, breastfeeding, co-sleeping, and homemade baby food, etc.? Attachment parenting, of course, I think that it's awesome for a lot of other women who plan on doing that. I'm not really planning on doing attachment parenting. Of course, I want to do cloth diapering, and I do want to do my homemade baby food. I'm going to exclusively breastfeed, all of that. But when it comes to like co-sleeping and baby wearing, I don't think I'm going to be really that much. I'm really more into the independence of my baby, and I do feel like I'm not a deep sleeper, but Bryan's a really deep sleeper. I'm sort of a deep sleeper, and I think it would just really make me nervous if we were co-sleeping with the baby. So I'm hoping to have the baby in a crib after a couple months. So the baby will probably be really either right on the side of the bed, really in those early months when you're breastfeeding every hour or so. So then we'll hopefully be able to have the baby in a crib. Okay, so how will you and your husband modify your lives once you have a baby? For example, are you planning on staying home with the baby? I think that as far as how we're going to modify our lives, I think that that's just going to kind of happen once we have the baby. Of course, we're going to just adjust ourselves to the baby, and I don't know exactly what's going to happen yet because we haven't had one yet, but we will adjust whatever we need to in order to have a happy baby. And I do plan, the goal is to be a stay-at-home mom. My mom was a stay-at-home mom, and that's how I always imagined myself. Right now the finances aren't there, but I'm hoping really soon that will be an option for me. If it's not, it is okay, because Bryan has a very, very flexible schedule, so he's basically always here, and because we live with my parents, and I trust them so much, and I love them so much, that it's not even a big deal for me to have to leave the baby for a couple hours, because I'm only going to be working a part-time job anyways if that's something I have to do. Do you consider yourself crunchy? I can't consider myself crunchy. I wish I could. I would love to be like that one day, or get there one day. It's always something I strive, or I always look at, and I just wish I could do that. For the most part, I'm just a very picky person as far as when it comes to food, and everything else. I don't know, maybe one day, and we'll see, but I can't consider myself that right now. Okay, when did you know that you wanted to be a mother, and what are you most excited what are you most excited about becoming a mother? I knew I wanted to be a mother since I was like a child. I always just couldn't wait to have a family and become a mom. It was just like my dream. But I would say my like official, like, okay, it's time for me to be a mother and start my family was about 2 years ago. Me and Bryan really started to seriously talk about it. I was just wanted it so badly, but we were living in Idaho at the time, and I knew I wanted to be in California because this is where all my aunts and uncles and everyone lives. I knew that the time would probably be more closer once we got to California. Once we got to California, we gave it a couple months, and then that's when we started to go ahead and start getting pregnant, and that was 1 year ago. And what are you most excited about becoming a mother? I don't know. I'm just so excited to have a baby. Like, I just can't wait to bring another child into my family because I love my family so much, and I can't wait to give them another person to bring into our lives and just start raising a child. It's just an amazing idea, and I'm just so excited about all of it, everything. Does your family and close friends also watch your vlogs and give you feedback on them? Yeah, most of my family and friends watch it. I think that everyone knows about my vlog. I don't really keep it a secret. I'm very open about it, and I really enjoy my vlog, so I talk about it a lot. But I wouldn't say that they necessarily give me feedback. Like, they'll tell me, like, oh my gosh, I totally watched your video, it was super cute. So they give me that kind of feedback, but they don't like tell me like, oh, you need to not do that or anything like that. So yes, they do watch, and most of my family and friends do watch it. Okay, so the next question is, do you guys have support from your parents? And I think that you're basically kind of talking about like emotional, moral kind of support like that. And I don't think you're talking about financial support, which they of course don't support us like that at all. But as far as emotional, they are my total emotional support. They support my decisions 100%. They are just as excited for me to have this baby as me and Bryan are. And so yeah, we have 100% support from my family. I am curious how you came up with the title Bumps Along the Way. What a fun question. When I first started my blog, I called it Missy's Bump. And that was pretty much just because I knew I was going to be pregnant soon, and I wanted to like talk about my bump. But then of course we started having trials and certain things happening to us, and it kind of turned into my bumps along the way. So that's kind of that's kind of how it came about, and now I think it's just like the perfect thing, like the perfect term that describes our pregnancy journey. And also, of course, when it comes to after I'm done, trying to conceive, then you have a baby, and then you've got the bumps along those ways. And so I think the term just fits perfectly for any kind of family, probably. So that's kind of how we came up with it. Do you feel people don't take you seriously about pregnancy because of your age? I wouldn't say that I've necessarily ever came into a situation where someone didn't take me seriously. I've been working since I was 16 years old, so I've always been kind of carried myself in a really professional, and I've always been a more mature person. But of course I have gotten those, after I miscarried, I had people like say to me, well, you're young, you can just, keep trying. And that's just a really terrible thing to say, no matter what age you are. So I've had that, kind of treating my age as a no big deal, you're young kind of situation. But as far as being pregnant and young, people don't necessarily really look at me bad at all. Next question is, what inspired you to start this video series on YouTube? I think I watched so many YouTube people. I felt like there was a need for more people who really wanted to open up and be completely honest about their losses and stuff. I know they're out there, but I couldn't find very many of them. And so I just felt like, I have a lot of stuff that I could share, and I really wanted to help women out there. If there was anything, I just wanted to always know that what I was going through was for a reason. And I was hoping that that reason was to help others. And so YouTube just kind of became like, I think that's what I'm supposed to do. I think I should go on YouTube and really share my story. Also, I mean, because I was writing and stuff on my blog, I think it was just kind of the natural progression and what kind of things happened. I wanted to share with more people, and so YouTube just kind of became my stepping stone of how I really wanted to get it out there. Next question is, what was the best book you have ever read and / your favorite book? So my favorite writer is Diana Gabaldon. She actually writes this series called The Outlander. It's called Outlander. And actually one of my favorite books is called The Voyager. And here it is now. And this is kind of what it looks like. It's such an awesome series. It's about this girl who goes back into time and meets her love of her life, and it's a total love story, and it's just my favorite. But my other favorite book is a Jenny McCartney book, and it's called Baby Laughs, and it's just like super funny, and I absolutely love this one. Let's see, when did you start wearing makeup? I think I started wearing makeup like 14 or 15. Next question is, what were your hobbies in high school? And she also asked, would you like to have a multiple birth or single? My hobbies in high school, I didn't really like play any sports or do anything like that. I mainly just like dated Bryan, and we like had a lot of fun. We had friends and just hung out in town and stuff like that. So I don't think I necessarily had like any hobbies in high school. But would you like to have a multiple birth or single? I mean, I would like to have a multiple birth, but with my bicornuate uterus, I think that would scare me just because I don't know how much room really is in there. So I don't know how that works exactly, but if I had that option, I'm not like scared of a multiple birth or anything. I think I would embrace it completely. So I was wondering how you made those bags. I literally went down one day and I bought a sewing machine. And I brought it home. I watched a few YouTube videos. I read a few vlogs. And I sewed those bags. That's pretty much how I did it. I just kind of learned it. It was kind of weird. It's like I was a seamstress in another life or something. I don't know. I've really started to enjoy sewing now after I made those bags. So okay, so next question is, what is the best thing you have ever made? And I actually just learned how to make flannel pajama pants, and these are actually them. I'm super proud of these, I really am. And they look like these, and it has a little bow on it, and they were actually surprisingly very easy to make, and I just kind of learned them on YouTube also. And then I started learning how to make what's this called, a shopping cart cover. And so basically it's like a big bag, I guess you could say, and it goes over the shopping cart. This is where the child's feet would go through, and then there's a couple of belt loops in here somewhere. Oh, here they are. And this is where you would like strap them in if you need to. So this is what I also just learned to make, so I'm really excited about all my sewing projects. Next question is, what are some of your favorite craft hobbies, and are you hand making anything for Christmas? Of course, my favorite right now is sewing. I don't really do any other crafts. I used to like try and knit and stuff, but I have a blanket that I spent like a year on, and it's like a quarter of the way done. So it's definitely not my thing. And I do plan to make things for Christmas. I want to make like sweatpants and stuff like that for presents, but that's pretty much my favorite hobby right now. Do you also make other things, any baby things? Well, I just learned how to make that shopping cart cover. I would love to learn to make other baby type items. Haven't gotten there yet. I would love to make a diaper bag. That's kind of what I'm trying to learn right now. One day I'll probably get to that. Let's see, favorite candy bar. I think my favorite candy bar is like a Reese's. I'm not like a huge candy person, but I would say it's definitely Reese's. When you were a kid, what did you want to be when you grew up? I would say I wanted to be a mom. But before that, I mean, I think I also, as far as like a career, I wanted to be a teacher. That just kind of was something I always wanted, but of course once I grew up, I didn't really want to be that anymore. Do you have any siblings? And does your husband? I do have siblings. I have a younger brother. His name is Jimmy, and he's 20 years old. And I have a younger sister. She's 15, and her name is Cassie. So it's Missy, Jimmy, and Cassie. And then my husband has an older sister. Her name is Beverly. I think she's like 27 or 28. What do you like and dislike about making TTC vlogs? I seriously love making my vlogs. I pretty much enjoy everything about it. I think if I had to sit down and like edit them and spend hours on them like Bryan does, I probably wouldn't enjoy it so much. But I pretty much just get to like talk to you guys and like watch videos and talk to you guys, and that's pretty much all I have to do, and it's super fun and easy, and I completely enjoy it. I mean, I guess there are the criticism that you can get, but so far I really haven't had that much of it, and I really just enjoy making my vlogs. But as far as like technically, as far as like technical stuff is concerned, Bryan takes care of all of that. He like does everything behind the scenes. Of course, all the fancy stuff on the vlog, on the video that you see, he does all of that. He's actually a videographer, so he's just like magical at that kind of stuff. Okay, what is your occupation? I am a office manager at a local chamber of commerce where I live. So, and as far as Bryan is concerned, Bryan is a waiter at like a steakhouse. He also is a photographer and a videographer, and he also works at a church that he does a lot of photography and videography for also. Do you and Bryan have fur babies? Yes, I do, and I will introduce you to them now. This is Leo, my mom's dog. Ugh. This is Nina. She is a little old lady, and she is also my mom's dog. This is Lily, and she is just a ghost in the house. Okay, this is Claire Bear. Me and Bryan. This is my and Bryan's. I think it's our second cat that we got, but he has been with us for a long time, and he is our baby. He is just the most lovable, prettiest cat ever. I really wanted a girl cat. I've always wanted girl animals, but I always end up having boys. But I named her Claire, and she ended up being a boy and actually getting Lily pregnant. So he is now Claire Bear, and I'm okay with that. This is Karma. He is my baby, and we are just best friends. So that's him. And I wish he would just sit here, but he gets so nervous when he's on camera.
Leash?
Park.
Go get your leash.
Park? Snowmobile? Oh, you need to say it. Bryan, say more.
Go get your leash. You want to go for a walk?
Oh.
Come, you want to get your ball?
Happy
You
word.
want to go to the park? You want to chase some squirrels?
So that's actually all my fur babies. I love them to death, and actually Claire has decided to stay with us. What kind of camera do you have and shoot with? Like I said, Bryan does all of that. I think it's a D7000. Next question is, what are your religious views? I actually was raised in a very conservative Baptist church. I went to a private Baptist school until I was in about 8th grade. And then we moved out of state, and now I would say that me and my family are all non-denominational Christian. And of course, we love the Lord. How does your family feel about you putting your life on YouTube? So I actually asked my mom this question and my dad just to kind of get an idea of how they actually felt about it. I've never really asked them the question. And they said, of course, you know, they don't really have any issues with it. They love my YouTube. They love watching my videos. The only thing that I say that they worry about is just like the criticism that I can get. And it can affect me. They're just afraid of how it could affect me. They worry about me and like and how this could affect me, you know. But for the most part, they love that I get to do this, and they know that I do this for a good reason, and that is to reach out to other women. And actually, my mom, after I started doing YouTube, she started like really getting into it, and now she watches so many YouTube videos. She's almost on it more than me, but I don't even know if that's possible. But yes, if you could be a muffin, what kind of muffin would you be, and why? I think that if I was a muffin, I would want to be a really nasty muffin so that no one would eat me, maybe. What is your advice on getting over a guy? I've never really, I guess, had to like really deal with that kind of situation. I guess like maybe when I was like younger, there were like little things that happened. I guess just know that there's probably someone else out there better for you, and that's the perfect person for you. So you know, I know that that's a really tough situation to be in, and that's what I'm saying is probably not going to help or anything, but just know that there's something better out there for you. How short have you ever had your hair? I think I've cut it to like around my shoulders before, but now I pretty much am trying to like grow my hair out. I know it's already pretty long, but I would love for it to be longer. So, have you ever thought about dyeing your hair? If you have, what color? I've had it blonde before. I've had it blonde for a few years, like a few years ago. And I've done a lot of crazy things with my hair. But now I'm just kind of trying to keep it more natural. It is actually colored, but this is also my natural color. And I don't really want to be coloring my hair while pregnant, so I just kind of keep it like this so that I don't have to really deal with it. And next question is actually it's our last question. What is your favorite color? And my favorite color is blue and brown if I'm going to be wearing it. So blue and brown. That's it. And okay, so that is all of our questions today. That was really so much fun. I can't wait to do another Q&A. So if you guys have any other questions, feel free to leave a comment below. Like this video if you liked it, and subscribe if you haven't. And guess what? Claire totally stuck around for the rest of the video. He's just super happy kitty, huh? Aww. So, I guess I will talk to you guys very soon in hopefully my 6-week update in a couple days. So, talk to you guys later. Bye!
Get Lily. She's in this
Yes, look at him. He's like, yeah, you better leave. You better leave.
Good.